Hey guys, welcome to another Darkstar SC2 cast. I am the Mish King, and today we have a real treat for you guys. It's going to be Darkstars Gulanka sporting the barcode and the red trunks at the bottom left hand side of Star Station versus his opponent who's at the cross spawn, Fnatic Harstem. Who's a Protoss player, very strong Protoss player, sporting the blue trunks of course. I do believe this is most probably the latter. And Gulanka, man, he's just racking up the wins facing these Grandmaster players. Of course, Harstem recently beat Red, so he's got quite a bit of fame and quite a bit of what would be the best word to describe his current situation? It's like everything's going his way currently. There's a lot of buzz going about Harstem, but yeah, Gulanka, man, he wants to also make a name for himself. Gonna be trying to take down this very strong Protoss player right now. Going for the supply depot over here near the gas, which is quite normal as, of course, Terran players can lower their supply depots. Not walling off the ramp because against a Protoss player this would be somewhat futile. Some Terran players still prefer to do it, but it's most probably best to just have your buildings and tech structures within your base. I mean, sure, you're more vulnerable to an early rush of zealots, but now with the mothership core, Terran players have a lot of difficulty defending against early pressure when it comes to a few stalkers with the mothership core spotting and also adding on to the DPS. And getting a very early gas, so this tells me he's going to go for either very, very early Hellions or most probably just the Reaper to get that scout in. Reaper is such a good unit, can be very irritating, but it's very crucial as a scouting unit. As Terran players want to save up all that energy. My PC was derping, and it's derping again. So yeah, Terran players want to save up all their energy so that they can focus wholeheartedly on mules. And they need that as Protoss players have a thing called Chrono Boost, and Chrono Boost is pretty good. First Reaper is now on the way. Natural has been secured by the Protoss player. Is quite playing a very greedy build actually. His gateway unit, the gateway is only halfway done, so Harstem going very, very greedy. Now scouting to see that there is a Reaper on the way. His production is quite delayed as the Reaper should already be on the field and halfway to his base by the time the Zealot is even close to popping out. And oh, going for a Forge. This is very interesting. Normally you'd see Cybernetic Score following it up so that he can defend quite easily against the Reapers, but that is not the case in this game, and we can see this this Reaper could play a very crucial part in this particular matchup. Gulanka going for his own expansion behind this, so this is not an all-in or any risky play by any means, and also throwing down a factory, so going to be going into most probably some Hellions, maybe even later on some Hellbats, because Hellbats are pretty good. Poking into the natural, sees it is in fact done. The Zealot is going to have the hardest time, and I hope it's done its cardio today, as he is going to be running around for quite some time and just trying to snipe some probes. Nice micro there, and oh, nice micro there, completely blocking off the Reaper's path. And Gulanka is also doing quite a good job. My PC is not doing such a great job right now, kind of stuttering. Oh, second Zealot is out. Whoa, talk about some Kobe Bryant maneuvers right there. Although I gotta say, Harstem only losing one probe, and all of this madness might lose an additional probe here. And yes, he does, but the mothership core is out, so this Reaper might... no, actually, yes, I do believe this Reaper will go up in smokes, up in flames. And it didn't indeed happen. Starboard is coming in, actually wondering where the armory is. As normally you'd see an armory going down as well, so there'd be a lot of Hellbat drops. Pressure coming to Gulanka's doorstep in the form of a Stalker and a pair of Zealots. The Mothership Core is choosing to stay at home to be acting as the defensive unit, as, to be honest, sending the Mothership Core might have been wise, as it could just recall back into the main if need be to help defend against counterattacks. But this will be in fact a Widow Mine drop. Few Widow Mines are about to pop. Actually, one is already on the field. Stalker has poked into the front, does see that there is a bunker. We do have a random Widow Mine over here. I'm not sure about what the placement is, like what the purpose of this particular placement is, but you never know, could come into play later on as the game progresses. And meanwhile, back at the Protoss' base, he has got his robotics facility, an additional two gateways, bringing up to 3-gate production. His production is somewhat less than you would normally see, but he's playing a very interesting game right now, and I believe he actually cancelled his forge. I'm gonna have to rewind a bit. Maybe the forge was an accident of sorts, as yep, I do believe it had to have been an accident because the forge would have been really weird. And here we go, couple of Widow Mines and 4 Marines to help protect the Widow Mines as best as they can with just without any drugs, man. These are clean Marines, man. They've done their time. They don't do the sim anymore. And behind this we can see an additional 3rd command center is going down, so a heavy hardcore macro on the way for the Terran, and this drop hasn't been scouted. It's gone in a completely straight line. Meanwhile, in the main base, it's Warp Gate technology is just about to finish. The army is completely out of position. It looks like, yes, the Mothership Core will get an overcharge down. 1 Marine does go down, and I'm not exactly sure how many workers went down. 4 workers, actually maybe 2 workers went down. This drop hasn't really paid for itself, I believe, at least. And the forge is coming down along with a robotics bay. And this drop is just going to be sitting back here, going to be as annoying as possible, but wisely sending an observer just to see and keep an eye on where this drop is, so that later on, if it chooses to come in, he can get his units in position and be able to defend it completely. So we see additional, actually that is the double forge, so it's going to be heavy upgrades. It's planned for the Protoss player. I was about to say heavy upgrade situation, but that just sounds so much more dramatic than it actually does when I say it out loud. It's like a situation of heavy upgrades. Meanwhile, this medevac is trying to position itself better, but Harstem's right on top of his micro right now, sending a Phoenix even just to scout out and see what's in the Terran's base. The Phoenix is kind of parked up here in an awkward position. We'll see that the Terran player is going for heavy bio play. I believe that was a mistake over there. Wants to get that additional tech lab instead of a reactor add-on. Meanwhile, over here, the medevac tried to poke in, but takes quite a bit of damage actually, and is forced away by this pair of stalkers. There is a Colossus on the field. I believe she is the only one of her kind at the moment. +1/+1 is being researched for both players. Stim is also on the way for the Terran player, along with combat shields and the crucial armory, so he can actually keep chugging out his upgrades as the game goes on. Also, this armory would be really useful in cranking out some of those Hellbats, which everybody's been talking about because they're totally in fashion this season. And both players just macroing it up. The Protoss player is about to secure his 3rd at the moment. Going for Twilight Council tech as I speak. And nice position with this cannon over here. I really like it, as if the Terran player actually pokes in, it'll be directly within this path. Like it's like one of those angles which a Terran player might attempt to poke in. But yeah. And meanwhile over here, it looks like this troop of units is just going on a merry adventure. Not sure where they're going. Now just being... I believe Gulanka wants to try and make something happen. He knows that he has a timing here which he can use before there are too many Colossus on the field, where his ground forces may be enough to like just completely muscle their way through the of the forces from Ire and bust the Protoss' defenses in twain. Yes, it looks like a few Hellbats are going to be joining the fray, as well as stream of units. This is very bomber-esque. Scan goes down to see that there is no observer. Sends 1 random medevac, which will take quite a bit of damage, but with the boost ability, you can just do that and get away kind of scot-free. Sending a hallucinated Phoenix just to see what's up. Will scout out the entire force, which is here, and yeah, I do believe this will be a really good battle that's about to happen. Looks like Gulanka is going to try for a double-pronged attack, sending a medevac full of units north. Probably going to be trying to poke into the natural, but guess what? There is an observer here. as there is an observer here, so both paths of drops are technically, actually both paths of drops are completely nullified altogether because he's got vision all over the place. Meanwhile, there's a random marine just about to run into the natural, going to be very annoying, and oh, feedback goes down, cleans up that medevac full of units. And even though there were just 3 units on it, that's still units that could be used in this fight. And here we go. Fight's just about to begin. And that's a nice concave from Gulanka. He's pushing his way in. Could actually see more force fields being used, but it looks like Gulanka might have overstepped. But guess what? He's slowly beefing his way in. Going to be going straight for the third. Going to be trying to snipe the third. Overcharge has been used. The Colossus still stands tall. Nice force field, but there are not that many zealots. Third does get sniped. Third does get planted down, but it could be sniped again. And it will not. Actually, there we go. It's finally sniped. Hellbat's at the back. The units are technically surrounded and going to be dropping. Actually, I'm not sure what that's about. But this random medevac could have actually gone straight into the main. There's not that many ground forces left for the Protoss, but he has enough to hold the Terran back for the time being. Vikings are now on the field though, so the Colossus effectiveness will not be that great. Going for Archons though, there is no Ghost Academy that I can see on the field. I do not believe there's a Ghost Academy. No, there's no Ghost Academy as of yet. Ghost Academy would really help against these Gateway units and of course against the High Templar, as it would not only just drain the energy completely, it would also drain quite a bit of shields as well, making this army ever more vulnerable. And Gulanka does kind of, actually no, he does not have any vision of this. I derped a little bit there. Sorry about that, guys. And let's go to normal vision. Yes, he does not have any vision of that Protoss force, which is just going around the map, kind of with the theme of Jaws. Should be seeing this force just about now, and here we go. Oh! Kills a sentry immediately. That's crucial, as that is one unit that could be very useful in this fight. And sprinting across the field, a sea of red, the sea of blue is just not great enough, and a lot of the forces that were just streaming in, the reinforcements haven't cut off. These random stalkers just went on a walk to remember. Albeit briefly. Sea of Red, the tsunami is on its way. Gonna be knocking on Harstem's door. Gonna be like, sup son, on where is my pizza? And there's no pizza to be had, so I don't think Gulanka will be happy. Here we go. Here's the engagement. Only one Colossus on the field. 2 Vikings should be more than enough to eventually take the Colossus down. Nice spread by Gulanka. Nullified a lot of stuff in Gulanka, landing as Vikings. That should be the nail in the Protoss coffin. There's the GG. There's the GG. Well played. Gulanka takes this game magnificently, and we can see there's a volley because that is the most baller thing you can see. And just to make it even more baller, I'm just gonna like lower that. It's like boom, headshot. And yeah, that actually looks pretty sweet if you do look at it from this angle, or like maybe this angle. It's like boom, baby. So yeah, we will never find out the outcome of whether this would have actually made all the zealots explode, but the final outcome will actually just be Gulanka taking a game over Fnatic's Harstem. GG Gulanka, well played to Harstem. And yeah, that's been the Darkstar SC2 cast. Do check out our sponsor, Whatnet. They provide mumble services. You can find them on whatnet.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at whatnet.com. And you could also check out our Twitter at DarkstarsSC2. And you can even follow me at the Mishking on Twitter. And that is all for this cast. I was about to say for this time, but I feel this cast would be much better suited. I'll see you guys next time.